You don't need to water them every day. You don't need special soil, a greenhouse, or a gardening background. You don't even need to think about them that much. What I'm about to share with you is a list of 10 plants that practically take care of themselves and, at the same time, deliver health benefits that have been confirmed by researchers, universities, and space agencies. Yes, you heard that right. One of the most famous plant studies in history was conducted by NASA, and several plants on today's list were part of it. But before we get into that, let me say something that most plant content never tells you. The reason people give up on plants is almost never laziness. It's a mismatch. They choose a plant that needs daily attention, and they have a life that doesn't allow for that. The solution isn't to try harder. The solution is to choose differently. Every plant on this list was selected for one specific reason. It survives on minimal care while quietly doing something genuinely good for you, for your air, your mind, your stress levels, or your health. No watering schedules. No complicated routines. Just set in the right spot and let it work. Let's get into it. Plant 1. Snake plant. The snake plant might be the single most indestructible houseplant on Earth. And that is not an exaggeration. It survives low light. It survives drought. It survives being forgotten for weeks. It stores water in its thick, upright leaves and simply waits for you to come back. Experienced plant owners often say the only real way to kill a snake plant is to overwater it, and even that takes real dedication. In 1989, NASA conducted one of the most referenced houseplant studies in history, the NASA Clean Air Study. The snake plant made the list. It absorbs toxins including formaldehyde, benzene, trichloroethylene, and xylene, chemicals found in furniture, cleaning products, and paint. What makes it especially unusual is its nighttime behavior. Most plants release carbon dioxide at night. The snake plant does the opposite. It keeps releasing oxygen through the night. Sleep experts frequently recommend placing one in the bedroom. A Harvard study found that spaces with snake plants showed measurably reduced CO2, and lower CO2 means better sleep, sharper thinking, and less fatigue. To care for it, water once every 2 to 4 weeks. Any indirect light works. Never let it sit in standing water. That's genuinely everything. Plant 2. Pothos. Pothos, also called devil's ivy, earned that name for a reason. It refuses to die. It grows in low light. It grows in bright light. It grows in water, in soil, in a hanging basket on a shelf. It is one of the most adaptable plants in existence, and it grows visibly fast, which gives beginners immediate gratification and proof that yes, they can do this. The NASA Clean Air Study identified pothos as one of the most effective houseplants for removing formaldehyde, benzene, carbon monoxide, and xylene. A Japanese study confirmed it also absorbs ozone, an indoor pollutant linked to respiratory irritation released by printers and electronics. A study conducted in Japan found that simply touching the leaves of a pothos plant produced measurable calming effects. Even brief, casual contact with greenery lowered physiological stress markers in participants. To care for it, water when the top inch of soil feels dry. Give it any indirect light. Trim the vines occasionally if you want it bushier. It trails beautifully from shelves and needs almost nothing in return. Plant 3. Peace lily. The peace lily looks elegant, dark green leaves, graceful white blooms, and it behaves elegantly too. It tells you when it needs water by drooping slightly, which means you never have to guess or stick to a schedule. It simply shows you. Then you water it, and within hours it stands back up straight. This is one of the most beginner-friendly communication systems in the plant kingdom. The peace lily was featured prominently in the NASA Clean Air Study as one of the top performers for removing indoor air pollutants. It was specifically identified as effective against formaldehyde and benzene, and is one of the few plants shown to reduce airborne mold spores, which is significant for anyone who lives in a humid environment or has respiratory sensitivities. Research has also shown that peace lilies contribute to increased indoor humidity. Proper indoor humidity is linked to reduced susceptibility to respiratory infections, less dry skin, and better sleep quality, especially in air-conditioned spaces. A review of 42 studies found consistent evidence, that the presence of plants like the peace lily reduces perceived stress and improves mood, even without any direct interaction. To care for it, low to medium indirect light. Water when it starts to droop. That's your reminder. Keep away from cold drafts. It thrives in the same conditions most offices and living rooms already provide. Plant 4, spider plant. The spider plant is cheerful, fast-growing, and nearly impossible to damage. It produces dangling offshoots, little baby plants called spinnerets that hang from the mother plant like a living mobile. You can pot those offshoots and give them away, meaning one plant eventually becomes many. From a health standpoint, the spider plant's credentials are well established. The NASA Clean Air study confirmed its effectiveness at removing formaldehyde and carbon monoxide from indoor air. Research also shows spider plants can absorb indoor ozone, a pollutant released by printers and electronics, linked to fatigue and respiratory irritation. Studies on office workers found that those with plants at their desks reported meaningfully lower stress and anxiety after just 4 weeks. Spider plants specifically have been shown to reduce cortisol secretion in people who spend time near them. Importantly, the spider plant is one of the few common houseplants that is non-toxic to cats and dogs. To care for it, indirect light, it actually prefers not to be in direct sun. Water moderately, and allow the soil to dry slightly between waterings. It's forgiving, fast, and endlessly generous with its offshoots. Plant 5, ZZ plant. The ZZ plant looks expensive and architectural. Glossy, dark green compound leaves that catch the light. It looks like something from a designer lobby, and it tends to elevate any space it enters. But behind that polished exterior is one of the toughest survival mechanisms in the houseplant world. The ZZ plant grows from underground rhizomes, thick, swollen structures that store water and nutrients for extended periods. This means the ZZ plant can genuinely go weeks, sometimes months, without water and emerge completely unaffected. It tolerates low light that would kill almost any other plant. It tolerates low humidity. It tolerates neglect in ways that seem almost supernatural. It appears on the NASA Clean Air Study list, cited for absorbing xylene, toluene, and benzene. Research comparing common houseplants found the ZZ plant has the strongest survivability under simultaneous low light and infrequent watering, making it the most honest choice for genuinely busy people. A review in the journal Building and Environment concluded that the presence of indoor plants, including the ZZ plant, consistently improved well-being, reduced mental fatigue, and increased calm. To care for it, water once a month or when you remember. Any light, including dim rooms. Do not overwater. This is its one vulnerability. Otherwise, it asks for almost nothing. Plant 6, bamboo palm. The bamboo palm is one of the few plants that genuinely transforms the feeling of a room. Its soft, feathery fronds create a sense of being somewhere calm. A quiet corner, a spa, somewhere that feels like you can breathe. And that's not just an aesthetic impression. There's science behind why being near this plant feels different. The bamboo palm is a natural humidifier. It releases moisture into the air, and research shows proper indoor humidity reduces airborne virus survival, lowers respiratory infection risk, and improves sleep quality. It was included in the NASA Clean Air study for filtering formaldehyde, benzene, and carbon monoxide. Research on workplace environments found that rooms with large leaf plants like the bamboo palm showed measurable improvements in concentration and lower stress levels. A University of Michigan study found that being near plants can improve memory and attention span by up to 20%. To care for it, indirect light, regular watering. Keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. More attentive than some plants on this list, but still straightforward. One of the most rewarding plants you can own. Plant 7, rubber plant. The rubber plant is bold and dramatic. Large, glossy leaves, often dark green, sometimes burgundy, that make an immediate visual statement. It's the kind of plant that makes a room feel designed, intentional, curated. And it is also, once established, remarkably easy to maintain. The rubber plant appears on the NASA list as an air purifier effective against formaldehyde, and its large leaf surface area makes it one of the more efficient air filtering plants available. Larger leaf surfaces mean more surface area for gas exchange, more toxins absorbed, more oxygen released. Research shows that plants with large glossy leaves have a more pronounced effect on perceived stress than smaller plants. A 2019 study in the Journal of Physiological Anthropology found that being near indoor plants, including large leaf varieties, significantly lowered cortisol levels and self-reported stress compared to plant-free environments. To care for it, bright indirect light is ideal, but it adapts to medium light. Water when the top inch of soil is dry, typically every 1 to 2 weeks. Wipe the leaves occasionally with a damp cloth to keep them clean and maximize their air filtering function. Plant 8. Boston Fern. The Boston Fern is one of the oldest houseplants in American homes, and there's a reason it has endured. It is lush, full, visually soft, and has a way of making a space feel genuinely alive. It has been a staple of porches, living rooms, and hanging baskets for more than a century. From a scientific standpoint, the Boston Fern is one of the most effective air-purifying plants ever studied. It appeared in the NASA Clean Air Study and was specifically highlighted for removing formaldehyde and benzene. Beyond that, Boston Ferns are exceptional natural humidifiers. They release moisture into the air continuously, which is particularly valuable in dry climates or during winter when indoor heating strips humidity from the air. Research links better indoor humidity to improved respiratory health, less dry skin, and better sleep. There's also evidence that soft, full, feathery plants like ferns produce stronger reductions in anxiety and stress than sparse or geometric plants. The visual density of the foliage matters. To care for it, indirect light, consistently moist soil, and humidity. It benefits from occasional misting or being placed near a humidifier. This is the one plant on the list that requires a slightly more attention. But for people who want visible, lush, living greenery, it delivers more than almost anything else. Plant 9. English Ivy. English ivy has one research finding that stands above almost anything else on this list. A study found that it removed up to 78% of airborne mold particles in a closed environment within 12 hours. No other common houseplant has demonstrated this level of mold reduction efficiency. Mold spores contribute to respiratory problems, allergy symptoms, and chronic fatigue, and ivy addresses them directly. It was also part of the NASA Clean Air Study, effective against formaldehyde, benzene, and xylene. Its natural trailing form, the way it cascades from shelves, has been linked to reduced anxiety in indoor environment research. The organic, asymmetric shape of growing ivy produces a stronger biophilic calming response than structured or geometric plants. To care for it, indirect or moderate light. Water when the top of the soil is dry. It prefers cooler temperatures than many tropical plants. Note, keep it away from pets, as English ivy is toxic to cats and dogs if ingested. Plant 10. Jade plant. The jade plant is a succulent with thick, rounded leaves and woody stems that, over time, grows into something resembling a small tree. It can live for decades. Some jade plants are passed down through family for generations. It is slow-growing, long-lived, and requires almost nothing from the person who keeps it. The jade plant has been identified as effective against benzene and toluene. As a succulent, it stores water in its leaves and can go weeks between waterings without any stress. Research on succulents found they contribute to indoor humidity, benefiting respiratory health in dry environments. What makes jade particularly interesting is the research around long-term plant ownership. Studies found that tending to a long-lived plant over months and years builds what researchers call a sense of continuity and calm purpose. People who care for long-lived plants report lower chronic stress levels than those who don't. The jade plant, slow, steady, undemanding, is exactly this kind. A University of Queensland study found that people in environments with succulents reported significantly higher happiness and life satisfaction scores. To care for it, bright indirect or direct light. Water every 2 to 3 weeks in summer, less in winter. Allow the soil to dry completely between waterings. Use a pot with drainage. One of the lowest maintenance plants you can own. So those are the 10 plants. And here's the honest summary. You do not need to spend money on supplements or air purifiers. You do not need to redesign your home or develop a new daily habit. You need to put the right plant in the right spot, and then mostly leave it alone. The research is consistent and clear. Living with plants reduces cortisol, the hormone your body produces when it's under stress. It improves air quality. It lowers blood pressure. It improves focus and memory. And it does all of this passively, simply by being present in your space. If you want to start with one plant, start with the snake plant. It needs the least from you and gives the most back. If you have a room that gets almost no light, get the ZZ plant. It will outlast everything else in that space. If you want something that makes a room feel immediately different, more alive, more calm, more intentional, get the bamboo palm or the rubber plant. And if you have pets, stick to the spider plant or the Boston fern. Both are safe, both are effective, and both are nearly impossible to kill. Start with one. Put it somewhere you'll actually see it every day, and let it do what it was designed to do. Nature is very patient. It will wait for you to catch up. Now, I want to hear from you. Which plant on this list surprised you the most? Was it the English ivy removing 78% of mold spores in 12 hours? The snake plant producing oxygen while you sleep? Or maybe the ZZ plant surviving on almost nothing? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know what caught your attention. And if you already have one of these plants at home, tell me how it's going. Tell me where you keep it, how long you've had it, whether you've noticed a difference. Your experience matters, and it might be exactly what someone else in this community needs to hear to finally take that first step. If this video gave you something useful, a new idea, a plant you're going to try, a piece of science you didn't know before, then please hit the like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it makes a real difference. It tells the algorithm that this kind of content is worth sharing, and it helps this channel reach more people who could genuinely benefit from it. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is the moment. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Every week I put out content like this, practical, science-backed, built for real people with real lives and not much time. No fluff, no fide, just the information that actually matters. Share this video with someone who keeps saying they want to get a plant but doesn't know where to start. Share it with the person in your life who works long hours and could use something living and calming in their space. Share it with anyone who has ever bought a plant, watched it die, and given up, because this list was built specifically for them. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.